always love a little something before I get started. Welcome everybody back to my 32 fan series, and I am talking to one fan from each of the 32 NFL teams. Today, I have the lovely pleasure of speaking to an Eagles fan. And I always say, anytime I speak to somebody for the very first time, I always like to call it out when I do collaborations because we don't talk to each other enough as people. And so I like to make sure to let people know, like, hey, this is our first conversation. It's okay to talk to people. So this is our first conversation.
Yes.
And I am so excited to just have this conversation with you and engage with you. And before you get started, all of your information will be in the description box. So for those people that are looking for you or want to find you, anything you want me to share will be in the description so they can just go click and find you very easily. So without further ado, I will stop talking. They're not here for me, they're here for you. So if you want to just introduce yourself, whatever it is you want us to know about you, and then tell us how long you've been an Eagles fan, why the Eagles, all of those good things.
Yeah. So my name is Lord Brunson. LB, many names across this landscape of content creation. First, I want to say thank you for having me. And it's a pleasure to meet you. And this is going to be a great conversation. I've been an Eagles fan all my life. It started with my grandma, and my grandma was from Philadelphia. She was a lifelong Eagles fan, and I just was pulled in. So I've been an Eagles fan since I literally came out of Temple University Hospital. I'm on all streaming platforms. You can find me anywhere if I didn't already say that. But yeah, I've been I can't remember not being a fan of anything else other than the Eagles my whole life.
Okay. I love that. I love the lifers, and then I love the fans that become fans because of colors. Mm-hmm. A lot of people become fans because, like when I was little, I liked blue and my team was blue and whatever. So I love that. What a story.
It's crazy that you say that because my favorite color is green. But I think my favorite color is green because I was an Eagles fan first.
Yeah.
I think that's how it came.
The smallest thing, but it's like so many people are like, I'm a Steelers fan, and one of the things I remember when I was younger is the Tweety Bird, and I loved Tweety Bird, and the Tweety Bird was yellow, and the Steelers were yellow, so I'm like, this makes perfect sense. Why would I not? Yeah. Right. So I love that. So what is it like being an Eagles fan right now? I mean, obviously, I would say you all probably have the best GM in the NFL. I don't know if anybody would disagree with that. And you just came off of winning a Super Bowl. How is it being, not last year, but the year before, but how is it being an Eagles fan? Like, what does that feel like to have all of that greatness surrounding you?
It's fun, man. It's really, really fun, especially in the division that we're in with the NFC East, where we're the only division in the NFL where everybody has a Super Bowl ring. Mm-hmm. And we were the last to, bring to close that and make it full circle, winning the last two in our division. It's definitely fun because now I'm in a space where I could really like talk my, you know what I mean? I could really talk right now. And there's not a lot you could say, I came from Costco early this morning and I was there like this. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not a lot you could say to Eagles fans right now. We feel like our GM always puts us in the position to have something to cheer for in the later months of the season. And we feel like we're in this Super Bowl window. So we just feel great. It's just great camaraderie, especially within the content creation world, all the Eagles content creators, the tailgates popping, everything is just, it's up right now. The dark times behind us.
Yeah, I love that. And I always love when a new king prevails in the NFL. Right. That's the best thing about the sport is waiting to see who that is. And then, everybody loves you at first and then everybody will start to hate you. And then when everybody starts to hate you, you're on the right track. You're doing everything you're supposed to do.
So I'm taking it in, man. I'm taking it in. I'd rather be the villain that's winning. I'll tell you that. Because I couldn't stand Tom Brady.
100%. I always tell people I would rather lose ugly I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't care what you think about my team. If we get the W at the end of that, then I will take it. Like, sign me up for that.
You are sounding like an Eagles fan.
Yeah, I love it. I have known to cheer for the Eagles. I will be honest. So, it is. I keep it in Philadelphia. So, yeah. and I'm a huge Jalen Hurts guy. I don't like Jalen Hurts and Lamar. I always say, like, I want them both to have rings so that everybody can just shut up. Mm-hmm. So when he finally got his, I was like, perfect. So anyway, so that's how I am with him and the Eagles. And so anyway, so let's talk about this draft. So I am watching the draft, like minding my business. And of course, the Eagles are making deals, making trades, trading up, doing all of these like dynamic things. So, what one word would you use to describe the draft that you were able to see the Eagles do this year?
Perfect. I would honestly say perfect. I like that we circled in on the guy that we wanted in Makai Lemon. We traded up to get him. It was obviously something there that we saw, because that wasn't my number one pick. That wasn't the guy that I was looking at in that first round, to be honest. But then it had to settle in like, okay, this makes sense. And then you see the second round pick with Eli Stowers. It just everything starts to make sense when you look at the way Howie Roseman moves.
Yeah.
And it was just perfect, man, because when you're picking in a later first round, Philadelphia Eagles were at 20. Those real GMs, the really good ones, they thrive in that space, I feel like. So you have to really watch the board, see who falls. You have to see what you got in your pocket to spend to try to move up. And nobody does that like Howie Roseman, man. Nobody does that like Howie Roseman. So I think the draft was perfect. It addressed multiple needs. It got us looking like our offense is going to be different with the departure of A.J. Brown. We took care of business. And that's what you're supposed to do when you feel like you got a legitimate window.
Yeah, that's fair. So is there a day two or day three pick that you were like, all right, that guy could potentially be a steal, like that he might have something that we need desperately, or maybe not desperately because you're the Eagles, but you know what I mean?
I've been bouncing back and forth with it. It's either Eli Stowers or Markel Bell, the 6'7" offensive lineman that we drafted. I believe we got both of those guys in day two. But one of these guys, I think, is going to be special. I kind of lean more towards Eli Stowers because coming out of Vanderbilt, being a tight end with his catchability and his route running tree as a tight end, former quarterback as well, he was able to get some knowledge from a former wide receiver of ours in Jordan Matthews that we had a few years ago. And Jordan Matthews already gave him a heads up about the city and things like that. So he was vetted to come in here and produce. And I think that he has that special unicorn-like ability at the position. Like you see guys like Bowers, who was drafted high, Kyle Pitts, these guys were all drafted high at the tight end position. So I think we see something there where he could be a special tight end that can play wide receiver and kind of a gadget guy. So I'm leaning towards that. I'm leaning towards the tight end from Vanderbilt and Eli Stowers.
I love it.
His name right.
Yeah, give Jalen Hurts more weapons. Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
I love to see it. Is there one player from the draft class that you think is going to make the biggest immediate impact? Just like off top, you're like, he's going to do something for a special.
The biggest immediate impact. I hate this. Makai Lemon. Lemon. Yeah. It's going to be Makai Lemon, I think, because it's almost inevitable that A.J. Brown is out of the door. And Makai Lemon, his skill set mirrors the offensive coordinator that we hired over the offseason as well, and Sean Mannion. Also, the acquisition of Eli Stowers. Those things mirror our new identity. And I think that they're set up perfectly to bring the best out of Jalen Hurts post A.J. Brown. So I think it's going to be Makai Lemon being a first-round pick. He just looks hungry. He got that dog in him.
Yeah. Could you see a world, this might sound crazy, very crazy. Could you see a world where they keep A.J. Brown?
I can actually, because it's almost like Howie Roseman just said yesterday on the press conference, A.J. Brown's an Eagle. He was just at the facility reportedly yesterday. Of course, he wasn't practicing. It was rookie minicamp, but he was there shaking hands and kissing babies with all the people that he knows. That doesn't really seem like a guy who wants out, but he does have a camp for the kids going on this summer.
So he's showing up. That's okay.
Yeah, so he should be there anyway, but he don't have to come to the facility. Especially if this quote unquote, I don't think it's even bad blood there, but I do see a world where if we don't get what we want, we're just going to ride with A.J. Brown, Smitty, Makai Lemon. We're just going to be stacked, and people just have to deal with that.
So that has been my biggest thing. And everyone's like, there's no way. And I'm like, there is a way. And it would actually be really smart to keep A.J. Brown, honestly. And it would actually throw everybody off because everybody just assumes he's gone, myself included, until I like took a deep breath. And I was like, if I was Howie, I would actually be thinking like, how can I keep this guy here?
Yeah. So, and it's almost like if you can't sell him for cheap. I mean, you can.
Right. Don't give him away. Yeah.
You can. Yeah, you can. And it's a benefit to give him away if he's truly unhappy, because he's owed a lot of money here. And you can get a lot of that money off the books. And then you're able to sign guys like Quinyon Mitchell a little earlier, or Cooper DeJean, Jalen Carter, we just picked up his 5th-year option. So it's a double-edged sword. If he's gone, which a lot of people think, then it's good for the books because we did re-up. We got Wicks, we got Lemon. So either way, I'm fine. But if AJ Brown stays, I'm going to a parade in February.
I know
that's how I'm feeling.
That's what I always say. Like, and some teams will sacrifice. They don't want to lose the money. Right. Other teams want the championship. They'll deal with the money later. So it's very interesting to me, like what they decide to do with AJ Brown. So that's just been my new thought as of late. I'm like, what if they actually keep him? Because none of us think that's going to happen. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, that would be the ultimate chess move. To just keep them and be like,
move. The ultimate chess move would be, there's 2 chess moves I see. The ultimate one, you're right, keeping them. The second one is not sending them to New England. Send them somewhere else. You know what I mean? Or send them to whoever has the better price. I think that's the next best thing.
I respectfully would never send anybody to New England. I just couldn't. I'm sorry. I
couldn't do it.
Not just right off my reputation. I'm like, I just can't do it. Like just off of everything I stand on in life. I just couldn't do it.
Like, not right now.
It would be a no for me. So unless you give me 2 first, like, and they don't even have them to give. So other than that, absolutely not. Like, he's mine. So, okay. Is there any player on your team that you feel like you passed on multiple times in the draft that you were hoping that they would make the move that they didn't, that you're thinking maybe eventually you'll go, man, we really could have benefited from having so-and-so?
Yeah, I think the one guy in the second round, if I had to do anything different, I would have took the safety from Toledo, Emmanuel McNeil. I really wanted him because it felt like an Eagles move. And, we were one of the only guys last year to even believe in Quinyon Mitchell coming out of Toledo. Everybody's like, small school this, small school that. Then you got Emmanuel McNeil Warren, who's probably the best safety in the draft, just right there. And then we went for the tight end from Vanderbilt. I was confused, but then when the dust settles, it makes sense with Howie Roseman did. But that's the only guy that I could think of.
Okay, fair. That's fair enough. Let's talk about this team a little bit. What would success look like for you all this year? Now, obviously, for some fan bases, success is a Super Bowl. So let's just assume that is your ultimate success. So we'll give you that. But let's say it kind of falls short or something, whatever. What would still success look like for you? Or are you Super Bowl or bust? Is that just what it is?
I mean, I hate to say Super Bowl or bust this early in the season, but we really still have a lot of our core guys still in place. Your offense can't get any worse with or without AJ Brown. Like that's just the truth on that one. So for me, I feel like the ceiling is winning the division. I'm the floor. The floor is winning the division for the 3rd straight year, and obviously the ceiling is Super Bowl. At the minimum, I think we're going to win the division.
Were the Eagles the first team to win the NFC East in consecutive seasons? Okay,
in the last in 20 years. Yep.
Okay, I thought that was an NFC East stat. Okay, fair enough. All right, I understand.
It always bounces around to somebody else. Nobody's able to ever capture it consecutively since McNabb and the Eagles did it in the early 2000s. So I think three-peating that is like the floor for us. I think we just have the continuity.
Yeah,
we got more pieces than everybody else in the division, so that's the floor. But we're not satisfied with that, though.
Right, that's not good enough. I love it.
Not good enough.
Is there a position group that worries you the most as of right now?
On the team right now, maybe safety. Okay. We did draft the safety with Wisnowski, I think his name is. We drafted safety later in the draft. I would have probably personally addressed it earlier, but Howie knows way more than me. So, listen, how we trust over here.
You're right.
I think it's safety. I think we need to make a move for a veteran safety to shore up that back end for sure. Other than that, I think all bases are covered. We got Rick Wolin in the offseason. We were able to also in this draft, we used some draft capital to get Grenard
from Minnesota.
I'm forgetting his name. Yeah, the guy from Minnesota, but he's a dog. And I think we covered a lot in this year's draft, but safety, that's the one for me.
Okay. Andrew Makuba is still there, but I know he got hurt last season.
Right.
So
he got hurt, and he was coming into a nice zone right before he got hurt. I hated that for him last year. But Reed Blankenship kind of got exposed, but we were able to, move on from Reed Blankenship.
Yeah.
But Makuba coming off an injury is why I would have gotten another safety.
It's a little
iffy.
We'll see. We'll hope this works out for the best. Okay.
Pretty much.
Where has this team improved from last season? Where do you see the biggest area where you were thinking, okay, last year, but this year, okay, we might actually have something there that's going to work better?
In the Department of Offensive Minds with control. I really firmly believe that Kevin Patullo, and I'm on record, I got tweets from like week 2, week 3 saying, this is not working. We need to make a change at offensive coordinator. The play calling is bad. But when you replace a guy who I feel was that inept at his job, you have no choice but to improve.
Okay.
I think me or you could have made things make more sense as 100%. Far as offense goes in 100%. Terms of what we saw out of Kevin Patullo. So I think we improved there vastly. Because you see some of the rookies already having their press conferences. They're saying, I like this playbook. I like the offense. They're not talking about the offense from last year, because once you get drafted, you get a playbook. They're talking about what they're seeing in the playbook for things to come.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
I love you saying that. I always tell people, listen to these press conferences. The answers, it's not really how they I like talking to Jalen Hurts. That doesn't really matter. It is the details of what they say about the things that they're seeing that's going on. Those are the things. So I love that you pointed that out. So what is something that you feel like your team will do better than most teams in the NFL?
This year for sure, run the ball. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles will be one of the top 3 running teams in the league. I don't know what happened last year. Coming off a historical running game with Saquon Barkley the year prior, going to the Super Bowl, it just wasn't the same last year. So this year, moving forward, I think that Sean Mannion is going to be able to incorporate some different run fits, some different schemes within the offensive line. I think we'll be able to run the ball better for sure.
Okay. I want to cheat a little bit here. We're supposed to be getting into our fun section, but I have 3 questions that I kind of want to ask you. I know you'll be able to answer them. I watch your content. You're a smart guy. So how do you feel about this Eagles offensive line? Do you feel like that there is some work to do? Or I know everyone's like, the Eagles offensive line is so good. They're so perfect. They're so everything. In my mind, when I watch, I see a lot of penalties. I see a lot of kind of instability. That's just what I see. What do you think about that, though? Am I overreacting, or am I picking up on a little detail that no one's paying attention to?
No, you're not overreacting at all. There were a lot of penalties. There were some injuries, and we just touched on this. We could not run the ball. That's not really our identity. Saquon Barkley was getting attacked, before he got to the line of scrimmage multiple times. So it's some concern there for me as well. Not as big as safety, but the ability to run the ball starts with the offensive line. Lane Johnson should be healthy. He shouldn't miss so much time. Landon Dickerson was extremely underwhelming last year. Cam Jurgens, our center, he was in and out of the lineup. He wasn't good. And right guard was just an issue. So the offensive line as a whole didn't play well last year. And on top of it, you don't have Jeff Stoutland anymore. Stoutland University is done.
Retired,
Right. So now we got to see what happens with this new offensive coordinator. And we had Stoutland for the last 13 years. So we don't even really know what it's going to look like.
Right. Okay.
We're leaning on our vets.
Right. I mean, and at some point that should be okay, right? Like that's the whole point is, it should work itself out. Okay. And then my other question was, how are you feeling about the kicker? Last year he made me nervous. Did he make you nervous? Like what was going on?
I got a love-hate relationship with Jake Elliott because in the playoffs, he clutch.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He does not miss in the playoffs or in gotta have it situations. But he'll do something weird in week 6 or week 8. And you're just like, yo, man, we need a new kicker. So I mean, I'm not giving up on Jake just yet. He was there for both Super Bowls. He's been around for a while. Jake Elliott is probably the best kicker in franchise history. But one interesting thing we did do is we invited David Akers' son, to camp. So he's there right now on a rookie invitation, and I don't think we're going to carry 2 kickers. So we'll see how that goes.
I love that, man. The NFL,
he's wearing his dad's number.
Yeah, I love that. I love that about the NFL. It's like, we don't care. We want the best to do this job. Right. Whoever that is who's going to have this job. We don't care. And I am obsessed with that. I love that. Okay. And then my final kind of off the wall question, were you surprised, or do you think they're going to get a deal done with Jalen Carter this year? Or do you think they're going to let the year play out with him? Or what do you think is going on with that?
They're going to let the year play out with him.
Okay.
You know, it makes sense. Kind of similar to what happened with Jordan Davis. So
Okay.
it's the money thing. So I believe Jalen Carter is on his last year of his deal this year.
Mm-hmm.
So next year, the 5th-year option will kick in, and we'll have to
Okay.
pay him the money from the 5th-year option. So if we pay him after the end of this year, he's
Right.
still due the 5th-year option money, and we don't have to pay the contract money for another year after
Right.
that, which is what
Right.
they did
Okay.
with Jalen Carter. He might have just signed his deal, but he's still only getting
Oh,
paid
I
for
didn't
the 5th
realize
year
that.
this year.
Okay. Okay. That makes more sense because I
Right.
was kind of looking at that and I'm like, am I missing this big picture that's happening? And I am. Okay. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah. So when
Okay.
you so
Perfect.
once you sign, so once you ink that 5th-year option, that's just to give the team more flexibility. Like, hey, we're going to pay you the 5th-year option rate during your 5th year, even though you signed your extension a whole year prior to that.
Okay. I didn't realize you could sign it or you could do that before it got here. That was
Yeah.
my biggest. I thought you had to wait until it was that time to do it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Unless I'm missing
Sounds
something
good.
to my knowledge, I believe that's how it
Okay.
works. But yeah, then that all that guarantee money and the bigger contracts kick in after that.
Right.
So I think we're definitely going to wait until after this year.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, I just wanted to ask. Those are kind of my
Mhm.
randomness that I was just because like I said before, I know what's going on with the Eagles. Okay, so I know what's going on. I know I'm a Steelers fan. Don't get it wrong, but like I know what's going on with the Eagles. So
But I will
that's
say this
important
though,
to
there
me.
are some guys who are not going to even get to the 5th-year option though. Like
They'll just
Cooper DeJean
sign
and
them.
Quinyon Mitchell, they're just going to get extended.
Yeah.
And I
Well, and I
believe
think
that'll happen
too.
when AJ Brown leaves. One of the
That's
two.
another. It's another AJ Brown thing.
Yeah.
But and also like a Jalen Carter salary is probably going to be absolutely disgusting. So I understand it. Like wait until it's the moment where you absolutely have
Mhm.
to,
And
and then
I
go
need
ahead
to
and
see
give
more,
them.
to be honest.
Yeah.
I need to see a little more
Well,
out of JC, to be honest.
well, now I have a question. Do
Mhm.
you think you would get more draft capital for Jalen Carter, or do you think you'd get more draft capital if you traded AJ Brown?
Damn. Nobody's ever asked me that question, number one, and I never even thought of that. So I think you'll get more I think it'll be more beneficial to trade AJ Brown because the money comes off the books and you get
Okay.
capital back.
Okay.
But
Okay. So it's more better business decision.
I think it'll be a more better business decision.
Okay.
But you could probably get a first and a third out the gate for Jalen Carter.
Easy.
Easy, you can get a first and a third out the gate for at least a first.
You could get a first. You could probably get two firsts or a first and a second. Like you could probably
I
do a
think
Max
so.
Crosby it. You could probably get like a.
Especially if he cooks this year, which I think he will. He's motivated seeing Jordan Davis get paid.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
liked watching him show up to that press conference. That was important to me.
right.
That was important to me
I
to see
agree.
him there. Anyways, now I've turned into it like this is a full-blown Eagles like fandom conversation. I'm like, here's all the things I'm noticing. Okay, yeah, because that's the other thing I've been thinking about is like I agree with you that like more production out of him is definitely warranted and he's got to fix that attitude and the temperamental things. I agree with that. And also, he is still very valuable to 31 other teams in the
Right, right,
NFL.
right.
So that's why I'm just wondering like okay, cool. Well, anyways, thanks for going down that rabbit hole with me. I appreciate
Oh, no
it.
problem. That's what I do.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this quarterback confidence. So this is the fun round. You can give me quick answers if you want,
Mhm.
or you can give me an answer and then give me a reason why you feel the way that you feel. So the first one is quarterback confidence on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being get this guy out of here tomorrow, 5 being please stay here with us forever. Where are you feeling quarterback confidence right now?
5.
Okay.
That's easy.
Perfect.
That's come on, Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts, the way he shows up in these big moments. This is the thing about Jalen Hurts that I've noticed. You know, when he's doubted, he's more dangerous. People think that
Yeah.
I almost want AJ Brown to go just because I know he's about to go ballistic.
Yeah.
So it's a 5 for
That's
me.
fair. I always tell people you have to remember that Jalen Hurts was the guy that got taken out of the game in the championship game that got benched. His team still won a championship game. He left and still led an Oklahoma team. So he knows how to handle the BS. Let's just say that.
Exactly.
That comes with football. And I'm not saying Nick Saban shouldn't have switched him or anything like that. You know, people will hear this and be like, well, Nick Saban made the right move. I'm not questioning his move. I'm just saying there's a lot of people walking the face of this earth that would have crumbled in that moment.
Yeah.
That was not Jalen Hurts. So I'm just saying. So I love it. Okay. So coaching staff trust level on a scale from 1 to 5.
4.
Fair.
I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4 because I have to see just how much control Nick Sirianni has.
Nick
I have to see
Sirianni, the
just how
coach
much
that
control he
everybody
has. He had a
wants.
lot of control last year. Patullo was his buddy. Nick Sirianni needs to be a manager of the personnel.
A leader
Just
of men.
talk to the guys, get the guys, make sure the guys got home safe. Do anything but tamper with the game plan.
Right.
Do anything but
give your opinion on game day. Just tell us if we're going for it or not.
Right. And I believe in him. I'm not one of these guys who believes he's on a hot seat, but I think he's more of a they have a name for coaches like this who don't call either side of the ball. It's missing me right
CEO.
now.
He's more of a CEO.
He's a CEO style coach. He's a CEO style head coach. You go there, fold your arms, you just make sure things are being done. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I think Dan Campbell is an amazing CEO of the Lions. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with the CEO. And
so
I actually think
Harbaugh with Baltimore.
So is Harbaugh. I believe having a CEO is the way to go because then you have somebody that's responsible for the offense, responsible for the defense, and then you're the extra layer. But what do I know? What do I know? Okay. So who do you think is going to carry this team this year? The offense or the defense?
That's a tough one.
I can't wait to see what you say. Okay.
I got to go defense, man. I got the continuity is there. Fangio is returning. You're adding Reek Wolin. You're adding Grenard. Like, come on. Like a hungry Jalen Carter. Jahad Campbell should start now. Nakobe Dean is in Oakland. Like, it's a lot of all pros on that side of the ball. A lot of young all pros. Hungry. I mean, I got to go defense.
Okay, I love that. Is there if you could trade drafts with any team in the NFL that had you take all your draft picks, you give them away, and then you get all of their draft picks? Is there a team that you would trade drafts with?
Absolutely not, because they don't have Howie Roseman. Absolutely not. I wouldn't trade anything the Philadelphia Eagles do on draft night with no other team in the National Football League.
Okay, I respect it. Yeah. No. Now that is a fact. I love that. If your team had this always happens to us moment where you're like, here we go. Here the Eagles go. Same old crap. We do this from time to time, whatever. What is that thing where it just always happens?
And I'm pretty sure this happens to everybody, but just lose to a team that you just know you shouldn't lose to. Like we shouldn't have lost to the Giants last year with how talented
it's an NFL thing.
Yeah. And I feel like the year before last when we won the Super Bowl, I feel like we dropped the game to like another bad team, or we made it like a really close fight, like Carolina or something like that. It's like, like come on, what are we doing? Those are the ones we circle when we're doing our record predictions. We're like, all right, this is a dub, and then you show up and don't get it done. So that always happens as we drop one against a team that we're not supposed to.
Okay, that's fair. And I feel like it's that moment where you're like, how do we lose to them? And then you're like, right, because they're getting paid too. And it's weird sometimes, but it's still kind of like, but we're so much better than them. That's unacceptable. So
they're definitely grown men. Like everybody has physical specimens on both teams. So so it literally could be anybody's day.
Yeah. And I again, players will be like, we don't do this. There are certain weeks where you see certain teams, just like we circle them on the schedule. Mm-hmm. I'm sure when the players see so-and-so rolling, when they see the Cardinals rolling into town, they're like, we can beat them. So, I'm not saying anybody lacks off or whatever, but they're humans. I'm pretty sure they also have their moments. So it is what it is. Shout out to those guys. So if you could send a message to the team's owner or the team's GM, or really anybody for that matter, what message would you send? What would you say?
So if I could send a message to anybody on the team, I would probably send one to AJ Brown, to be honest. I've actually talked to AJ Brown. I actually sent him this message, actually.
Okay.
I actually spoke with him not too long ago. And over the course of his career coming into Philadelphia, I used to have these. I think I got one down here. So I'm the one that designed the Hurt season hat, where AJ Brown, when he first came, he said, DM me, I need one of those hats. I got him a hat, and it's like in the Philadelphia Eagles archives, him and Jalen Hurts in a team photo. Aww. He's wearing a Hurt season hat, and they're taking a picture together, their first year playing together. So I got a like good rapport with AJ, but I would tell AJ that we all appreciate, love, and respect everything that you did. Like, nobody don't want you to be in no other jersey but a Philadelphia Eagles jersey.
Yeah.
So although all of this crazy stuff is going on within the news and whatever everybody's saying, we know the value that you bring to the team. We know that we are a better group of guys on the offensive side of the ball when you were part of the team. So if it's any way where you could just be a part of the team, we would not be mad at that at all. And I just need him to understand that.
Kudos to you for that, because I agree. And so many times I have my own thoughts about the media. That's one of the reasons why I do the series, because I feel like fans know more, care more. It's more of a relationship with their teams versus the big media is really just doing it because it's their job. Where I feel like I'm a Steelers fan. I'm in relationship with the Steelers. Like I know what their tendencies are. I know if they're coming home late. Like those are my guys. Like I know what's going on. And so it's nice to have that fan side of it where it's like, no, we want you. Don't get it. Don't feel like you have to leave. Like if you want to stay, we will openly accept you here. You do not have to go.
And the caveat to that, though, as being a fan with that mindset, is that once you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once you're gone, you're gone. We can't wish you well and wish our team well at the same time.
Yeah.
So, we'd rather not even get to that point, but it's part of the business.
It's going to be. Yeah. It's going to be. It's going to be. Awesome. Well, those were all the questions that I have for you. I appreciate having this conversation with you. I appreciate you also letting me go off script, because everybody should know by now I send out questions. Everybody has the questions. I'm not tricking anybody. But when I do go off script, I usually try to say like, hey, I have a couple of questions. I think you can answer it, but I have a couple of questions. So I appreciate you indulging me with that. It means the world to me. And anything else that you want to add, we'll end with you. I just want to thank you again for coming and talking to me. All of your information, whatever you want me to share, is going to be in the description box, so people can just click on it, find you very easily. But is there anything else that you wanted me to either ask you or that you wanted to talk about just coming into this conversation?
No, you hit everything on the head. I absolutely love what you're doing. When you pick somebody from each fan base, it gives people new people to look at, new people to follow. It just spreads information. And this is like, cool. This is like real positive, because
thank you.
I don't have a script. I turn on my camera and I go. I like when people have questions and they want answers to, but this is, anytime you need me, you got my information.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you so much. And you know what? I will say this, and this isn't directed towards you, but obviously your hair's just going to seem like I'm talking to you. We should reach out to people. We all see people that we would love to either talk to, collaborate with, ask a question to, or whatever. And it is okay. And I feel like as content creators, we know what we deal with. We know our struggles. We know how hard it actually is to do this. And so it's like, if you see somebody, reach out to them. If you like somebody's content, subscribe to them. Everyone I collaborate with, I have watched their content way more than I will ever openly admit publicly. And we should do that more. Like, I'm a football fan. And so I love what people do and I love engaging. And so I just want to encourage other people, like, reach out to that person that you're watching their content behind the scenes and you're thinking, I want to talk to them. Like, you might just talk to them. So anyways, now I'm on a soapbox.
It's never a bad thing to reach out to somebody and try to collab. That's how everything grows. The business side of this, it's just how everything grows. So I'm always down for a good collab, for sure.
I love it. Well, thank you. I think the Eagles and Steelers play this week, so maybe I can bother you during the season and be like, "Hey, let's just chat."
For sure. I got some family in Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, so if it's in Pittsburgh, I might go to that game.
I think it's in Philly because I want to go to Philly.
Well, definitely.
Also, did you know that our teams used to be called the Steagles?
Of course. We were joined at the hip. Two teams from Pennsylvania, the Steagles.
I love it. Awesome. I just wanted to make sure that you know that, so that you know deep down to my core, we are all connected in this fandom. Okay, for the great state of Pennsylvania.
Yep,
Anyways, awesome. Well, thank you so much.
No problem.